The time is now 5:52 on this Wednesday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go.
A basketball player at an Iron Range College has been charged after allegedly raping another student. 20-year-old Javian Jackson of Indiana is charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct. According to the criminal complaint filed last week, several people were drinking and partying at a Minnesota North Mesabi Range College dorm in Virginia back in January. The victim told the detective she had been drinking throughout the night. At one point, the victim and her friends went to her room, and Jackson was there. According to the victim, Jackson wouldn't leave and allegedly sexually assaulted her. The detective spoke with Jackson, who said the sex was consensual. His next court appearance is on September 12th. Jackson was summoned to court, so he is not currently in custody. The Minnesota North College is responding to the alleged sexual misconduct, saying they take these reports seriously. A spokesperson said the college is committed to eliminating sexual misconduct in all forms and will take the appropriate action as these claims come about. The spokesperson confirmed that Jackson is still a student, but not on the team's roster anymore.
2 weeks after a tense city council meeting, the mayor of Rice Lake has resigned. Since January, Suzanne Herstad had been mayor of the city that sits just outside Duluth. We learned she stepped down about 10 minutes before Monday's Rice Lake Council meeting, apologizing for her behavior at the previous meeting and saying she's not the right fit for the job. During that previous meeting, a new member was appointed to the council. Daryl Johnson, who the mayor campaigned against, received the appointment with a majority vote of 3-1. Herstad was the only vote against him, saying multiple times she had hoped for someone else. No word yet on plans to replace Herstad.
After a boat trailer heist in St. Louis County, authorities need your help finding the man responsible. This is the security cam video at Eagles Nest Bar in Friedenberg Township that caught the incident on video. You can see the suspect hitching the boat up to his Chevy pickup. Authorities say it happened around 5 Saturday morning. While they eventually found the boat and trailer near London Road, key pieces from the boat were missing. Authorities are looking for the suspect, who they describe as a white man wearing a light-colored t-shirt.
A conversion therapy ban can be enacted statewide after a new ruling from the state's highest court yesterday in Wisconsin. In a 4-3 decision, the liberal majority Wisconsin Supreme Court decided a legislative committee cannot block or repeal rules from a state agency restraining the power of the Republican-controlled legislature. Conversion therapy is banned in over 20 states. Advocates are hoping a bill introduced this session in the state legislature will pass, formally banning all mental health professionals in the state from trying to change their clients' sexual orientations or gender identities. And some good news for those hoping to rebuild after May's wildfires tore through northeastern Minnesota. St. Louis County Board voted to waive certain permit fees related to rebuilding. That includes fees associated with land use and septic permits. The waiving is valid through January 4th. The Camp House, Jenkins Creek, and Mungershaw fires destroyed more than 150 structures near Brimson, Fairbanks, and north of Island Lake. Between 20 and 30 of those were homes. We have more information on who qualifies on our website.